Hey guys, we've got an absolutely picturesque day here at the Prado Hospital. Very still and quiet, a light breeze, plenty of birds flying around. But it's time to get serious. I need to tell you some information and demonstrate for you why your DCDC charger might be killing your battery. We've got a number of videos on batteries, charging systems, solar panels, fridges and stuff like that. So search any of those words, one word at a time, on our channel and you'll find those videos. But one of the most important ones, I think, here it is here, right? I'm just gonna bring it into the picture so you can read it for yourself. See that? DCDC charger killing batteries if you're not aware of this. If I release everything in the correct order, that will be out before this one. And this is a follow-up to that. So that really demonstrates how, if you're not aware of what's going on with your charging systems, your solar systems, your DC-DC chargers, you're going to be in trouble. So if you watch that, you'll understand the setup we've got here. But I'll go through it briefly. I'm going to keep it brief because I want to keep it short. We've got the original 1-year-old battery sitting over here, okay? We've got auxiliary battery sitting over that side. We've got a projecta DC-DC charger mounted here on the bracket with a solar connection not connected at the moment. It was connected in the last video. You can see those details. Now, the problem we found was when there wasn't sun and we're still getting good voltage charging this battery, we went, hey, what's going on here? So I went and put the multimeter on this battery over here and found it down to around 12.2 volts, which you'll see. Now, so what have we done? We've got no load on the battery. We've plugged in our projecta maintenance charger. That's this one here, right? If anybody wants to know what do we use, they're about 60 bucks. You get them in Bunnings or any other auto store. Make sure you get them on special, whatever. Shouldn't need to pay more than about 60 bucks for that one. Says for lead acid batteries only, whatever, right? Okay, it'll do the job. It's just going to sit these batteries at about 13, well, direct to a battery about a bit over around 13 or so volts. Once it's, it'll pump it a bit more before that, but this is not about the charger anyway. But that's what we're using. It works. We've used them for years, right? We've got a couple of those to look after our batteries. Okay, so what happened was we worked out this battery was getting drained, this one over here, to charge this one via the charger here, even though we had the solar input connected directly on the green wire to the solar input to the projector charger, which is no good because that's killing that battery over there. We don't want to kill our batteries. Best way to keep the batteries full, otherwise you get sulfation. Keep it full, keep it full, keep it full. That means, the more cycling you do and the more time it spends off full, sulfation, it's deteriorating. Anyway, that's another story. You can Google that one. Anyway, so what have we done here? We've got no load. We've put this charger. We know that one was charged because it got solar the day before. And it got pumped and this one got drained. So we put the charger on this one over here, but we know that this one's up and charged and we know that it's even kicked in and charged this one. What I'm going to do is just quickly run to the back of the vehicle and give you the voltage of, okay, so we're currently on 13.7. 13.7 because this one's happy. Let's make sure, we're not going to guess. Let's connect everything up, right? Get my leads. Look, the reason I didn't connect it up before is, in fairness, it could create, it's only a small load, but of course, sorry, I'm just untangling a few wires here now to make it hopefully a bit easier, but this will get charged off the battery it's connected to. So it's going to create a small load. So in fairness, what we'll do first, we'll turn it on button over here, that's right. It's been a while, used it yesterday. Yes, the other video was yesterday, but when it gets released, who knows? We've got a lot of videos there, guys. So make sure you're watching for the real information about cars. The real information about cars, okay? So we'll just make sure we got that on. Yeah, happy days, right? What do we got here? 12.83, right? Okay, that's with the charger on, okay? That's with the charger on. Now, this is the problem we've got. As soon as I disconnect the charger, that's going to drop because that battery is going to keep charging that one. So let's go ahead and do this. I've disconnected the charger now. There it is. It's unplugged. We'll put that lead out of the way. We're finished with that for the day because shortly this vehicle will be driven, but I'm making the time for you to share this information. Watch how fast it goes down because what's happening now, and I would love to sit here and wait and show you. I'll try and get it so you can see what's going on. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll turn this light off here. How's that? There we go. Hey. You can just watch that and just see what happens. See what happens. See what happens. Right now, let me explain what's happening, right? This smart projector charger down here doesn't really know what's going on, right? It's got the ignition wire connected, right? It has got the ignition wire connected. So what that means is, I believe it should override this. So this voltage sensitive relay is also, you know, it's a DCDC charger, but it's also a voltage sensitive relay because it automatically connects when it reaches a certain voltage, even if you haven't got that wire connected. Okay, so I believe when you connect the ignition wire, that should be a direct override. Soon as you turn the ignition on, bang, you know what I mean? Like it connects and disconnects like that, or you know, with a slight delay. Look, it's got a 2-minute delay. That's fine. Let's just see. I just want to try and give it the 2 minutes. Is that going back up yet? Because I'm talking. That's still going down. I'll just go check the voltage at the back. That's 13.4. So slowly going down. We'll have a look, see what lights are on over here. Okay, the DC charger has disconnected, so that's great. Awesome work. Then what we should see here, we should start to see this recover. Let's see what happens though. And there's a lot of information here, guys. I'm going to try and keep it short, but it's really important if you want to understand how to look after your batteries. See? Yeah, it's not about me being right, but I understand the system. See, it's recovering. But the thing is, the whole time we were charging this battery, right, overnight, all night, it wasn't getting fully charged because this damn thing overrides, even though ignition's off, and charging that battery. So this battery, I'm connected direct to that battery, but to charge that battery over this side, the main cranking battery, I really need to disconnect this. I need to disconnect it. Let me just back it off a little bit. You can see the voltage, right? 1269. I just wanted to have it so you could see what's going on. You know what I mean? Hope you can still see that, right? I'll give you an update every minute. 12.7, right? What do we say? A good battery should be 12.65 to 12.8. You know, if it's in a charge condition. If you just charge it, it's going to be higher. So charge voltage, it's got to settle. I'm guessing by the recovery on this, 12.73 already, it's going to come back to 12.8. So it's pretty well charged, even though this one was getting charged and then it was sucking it and going across to that one. Basically, understand it, this does suck that battery to charge that battery, which is not great. The alternator charges this battery and then this unit sucks it across, right? It's not like the alternator's charging both. No, it's not that. If you've got a voltage sensitive relay, you've got a battery there and a battery there, and this alternator is connected to that battery but via direct wire without any computer to think about it and do things that we don't want it to do. It's either connected or not connected. So then this alternator would charge both those batteries almost evenly, probably more to this one, but once it's full then it's going to pump it to that one, whatever. With this case, you've got a little computer there doing whatever it's programmed to do, and what we're saying is we're not a fan of it for the reasons demonstrated on the other video. Now let's go and play another little game, right? And that is, I'm just going to one more time tell you what the voltage at the back of the car is. Okay, 13.4, right? So that would tell us that that battery that's the auxiliary battery, the voltmeter at the back of the car. So that got charged by solar, it was full. It just got charged again all night last night because we charged that one, which pumped it across to that one. What's going on here again? Oh, it's going down. I opened the back door. Interior lights, guys. This is what I'm talking about. So you got to, this is a perfect example. Let's close that again. And this is what I'm saying about having no load, right? And that's how much you after a little while, that'll start to recover again. Did you see that? We were up to nearly 12.8 and it was dropping. It was nearly down to 12.5. So there you go. Be aware, leaving doors open and interior lights do drain batteries a lot more than what you think, okay? So you leave it, depending on the condition of your battery, how long it's going to last. Now what we want to do is connect the solar, all right? So we're going to connect the solar, all right? We'll just back off a little bit here and come and have a look. You can have a look, see what's going on here. Okay, so here's my lead that goes out to the solar panels, right? My solar connection, I just have it sitting there because how easy is that? As I said in other videos, and I can even poke it out the front grille down here. But for this case, we're just going to, the panels are closed, right? So they're not on at the moment. We're just going to, if we know what we're doing, to plug in an Anderson plug, we're just going to carefully, always we're not yanking on the wires as well. Did you notice I'm holding the wire like that? And I'm always careful to be using the plug but holding the wires straight. The more you wiggle these back and forth, the more chance you're going to damage this eventually. It might happen anyway, but you want to be as careful as you can, and you want to use decent quality, decent gauge wire. These Anderson plugs allow up to, I don't even know the exact size, massive, right? You can see it this size here. You don't need to go that thick, but if you do, you're not going to have any problems, ever. Anyway, depending on the distance, guys, voltage drop. You can see that's recovering again. Now, what this last final test is going to be is, I'm going to go and open up the solar panels, right? And then we're going to monitor this voltage here. So I'm just going to go, I don't want this to go off. We can turn it back on if it does. We're going to monitor the voltage of that battery from here and the voltage of that battery from the back. So we're going to open up the solar. We've got full sun, that's why I showed you that at the start, and we'll go and see what the voltage, see what happens then. Like I said, absolutely beautiful. No, not a cloud in the sky, and we've got sun, guys. So these solar panels, they're going to pump. Right, here they are. These are the Melandi, these are the quality panels, right? We've got a couple of different sets of solar panels. We've had other panels come and go. There they are, they're pretty clean. We're going to move it so we've got full sun, no obstruction, right? See, right, there you go. They're pretty clean, but you know, camping environment, we don't want to make them too clean. Let's go to the vehicles and have a look what the voltages are and see what goes up and what goes down with nothing else changed. Okay, so what do we got here? Check the lights on the charger. It says alternator. Why does it light up with alternator? Because there's not alternator. The alternator's not charging. So also with the manufacturing and design side of things, can we please have lights that actually indicate correct information? Okay. It says alternator, it says solar, and it says charging. There it is. Now it's charging, or it's going to kick in a minute. Yeah, it's thinking about it. I think that probably means, yeah, I think so, I think so, I think so. And when it's happy, it'll probably stay on. But in my belief and understanding, if I build or design this, I'd have the alternator light come on when the alternator was charging, and I would have the solar light come on when the solar was charging, because you've got two different input wires to this unit, right? And then you'd have, look, I'm not, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if charging stays on or flashes. So obviously that would be charging. We confirm that by going to the back of the vehicle and seeing what the voltage is. But you can see there, 12.84. So while we've got sun, it's not affecting this battery whatsoever, which is good news compared to the previous video. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens if we go close the panels. Sit tight, let's have a look. Okay, quick look in the back of the vehicle. You missed it, but it was pumping. So it did just start charging. So obviously the flashing light is the yep, we are charging light. Okay, so that's good. And it was on 14.3, thereabouts, somewhere there, which is your initial where it boots in. And obviously it's gone, hang on a minute, you're full, I don't need to pump you this hard, which is cool as well, no problem. And it's dropped back to, I don't know if you can see that, you know, the camera thing makes it all a bit funny, but 13.7, all right? 13.7 is what it is. So quite obviously these panels are instantly pumping the charge up that lead to the projector DCDC. And this battery, the auxiliary battery, is getting looked after. It's quite happy. Like I said, I believe the light stayed on. That's why I was not too sure, but we all just learned something. So it flashes for about, when it flashes, that might be when it's pumping in its highest. I don't know if it's just pumping in the highest charge then, the 14.5-ish kind of volts, depending on what setting you've got it on. But look, we've got 3 lights on there. It's my belief that the alternator light shouldn't be on. To me, stupid. You know, you're just confusing things by, you know, because now you start the car, at the moment it says you got inputs of both. What's going to happen when you start the engine? Well, that's another test, isn't it? But one of the main things here is, now this is on 12.76. That's this battery here, right? The one in the back, that'll be on about 13.5, give or take, right? Because I opened the back door, the interior light went on. And that was only one interior light, guys. I've got one switched off. I didn't switch off the front one, right? But it'll recover back to the 12.8 thing. But let's just do a little test, right? So here we are, nothing's changed, right? 12.79, it's just recovering slowly. So if I'm to take away that solar, what's going to happen? Let's see. solar panels got closed about 10 to 15 seconds ago. Let's see if this keeps going up. It should, because it's just recovering from having the back door open. I'm not going to open the back door now because it's going to mess with our little R&T situation here. There it is. It's still, so at the moment, no problem. So we've still got a situation where this says it's charging, right? That battery, all the lights are on. So it's got to be getting its juice from somewhere, doesn't it? Okay, so now, okay, it's gone off now. So that's actually good. Okay, it went off completely. Now we've got a couple of lights come back again. It's flicking on and off. It's still got the alternator light on now. Right. Let's see if it starts charging and draining this battery, right? So let's say the sun's gone behind a cloud, or it's got to 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever time it is. So now it's gone off completely again. There's nothing. It still flashes every now and then the mode light, which mode it's on, because there's a few different modes there. Let's just wait and see. So maybe we'll give it a couple of minutes. You've hung around this long, so let's just give it a couple of minutes and see what happens here. If it kicks in it again based on this voltage being 12.8283, which it absolutely should not, okay? So the situation problem could be, and obviously it won't work today, it worked in the cloudy conditions, so you can try this yourself if you like. Go and do your own test like this and come back to the video and put a comment what happened for you. So 12.83, I'm quite happy with the condition, the charge level, the battery over this side, and it's not getting dragged down at all. I just think we need to give it 2 minutes to see, just in case this pops back in. But I think what happened the other morning, when you've got cloud, it doesn't mean you're getting no charge, you're getting a little bit, right? You're getting a little bit. Okay, so if you're getting a little bit, perhaps that's enough to trick this to thinking it's enough. There must be a system somehow. When I purchased this, I believe that putting solar into that was going to go direct to that, and it's not going to affect this battery whatsoever, which is not what we saw the other day. You can see the condition of this battery. The vehicle was driven not long before that video. There was no doors left open, anything that drained the battery. It's just like this. This car's going to sit like that for 2 weeks, and it'll still be around the 12.8 volts without a load on it, right? And you saw it was 12.82, and I watched it go from 12.5 down to 12.2, so it was getting pulled down, absolutely, right? So I think I've talked long enough. I've given it the 2 minutes. We've got no lights on, so it's behaving itself correctly now, you know, between everything what's meant to happen here. So it kind of makes this video a doozy, but you need to see the feedback and what actually happens and what should happen. And I think from watching this video, a lot of people would learn a few things about, remember what I said, a good battery, 12.65 to 12.8. We said it in other videos, guys. You can see right there, even a battery that's been charged, look, it probably needs to settle a little bit, but the voltage was only ever 12.8, remember, because it was also sucking it to charge that one. Otherwise, the charge voltage on this one over here, while the charger was on, remember when this charger was on, right? When this charger was on, that voltage over there, charge voltage, is going to be in the 13, 14 volt range. That's what a battery is when it's charging, not 12.8. It was 12.8 because, as I said, the power is getting sucked from this battery by this unit and parked over to that one, right? And control, DC charge control or whatever, right? I don't like it. I like full charge to both batteries. When I connect my solar direct to the 120, as demonstrated in the other video, I can charge one or both. You're going to get the full charge rate, 14 volts to both batteries. That's it. If there's no sun, they both get less charge. One doesn't drain the other or anything like that. And of course, when the main cranking battery, in this case this one, the voltage sensitive relay disconnects so the other battery stays fully charged, or the auxiliary battery does the work at night. You got the lights on, you got your hot shower, you got your fridges, your freezers, whatever you've got, right? That's your battery for that. You need to start the car in the morning, and that wasn't looking good for this battery, given the circumstances, with a solar panel open, giving it maybe enough charge that it tricked and it didn't quite work out right, where this one was on 13.6 or 7, going from memory, thereabouts, and this one was on 12.2. The only way that could have happened is the charge is getting sucked from this battery to that one, and that shouldn't have happened, guys. Look at this, 12.86. As I said, good battery, 12.65 to 12.8, and I said it varies. Every battery is different. A new battery is going to be higher like this. You charge a new battery, mate, it's going to be sit on over 13 for a while. It's going to take a while to come under 13 with no load. I'm talking, right? If you've got a battery dropping down, there's something wrong with it, or there's a load there, something draining the battery. Even as simple as open. I'm going to open the door again and just show you, right? Interior light, guys, that's all it is, just the interior light. I've opened a door. What's happening? Right, 12.72 and dropping. Okay, it's not going to flatten the battery in half an hour if you've got a good battery, but if you've got an old battery, this is where we say the average life of a battery 4 years. If you've got an old battery, you know what's going to happen. I'm sorry, but bada bing, it's not going to last. The car's not going to start. Look, already down to 12.4. Anyway, guys, I think I've demonstrated what I wanted to demonstrate. But it didn't pull this battery down over this side here, which is good. That's what we didn't want to happen. So sometimes this projector DC works well. Bada bing, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up if you got something out of that. It was a good follow-up to the last video. And make sure you subscribe with the bell on so you don't miss that important next bit of info. Thanks, guys. See ya.